Yo, what's going on? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Thursday, March 13th, 2025. And I was looking at the calendar, and this might be the last live stream of the month. It's hard to believe that. I'm going to be out of town next week for a trip that you'll find out about later. It's not really a surprise. There's some embargo involved, so I won't talk about it too much. And then the week after that is my kids' spring break. I think my wife has to travel for work, so I don't know what we're doing with the kids for spring break. I think I might just go to grandma's house, but I don't know how much I'll be able to live stream that week. And then the following week after that, which is basically like the last 2 days of March, I'll be on another trip somewhere else, somewhere that I have to get some vaccines for. I got 2 vaccines yesterday, one in the left arm, one in the right. My arms are sore, but otherwise I'm feeling fine. But I think I'm going to be gone for like the next 3 weeks, live stream wise. There'll be plenty of videos in the meantime, but I might not see you. So I'm glad today we've got an unboxing and we've got some food to try. So that should be fun. So we'll do that today. I'm sorry I can't tell you more about the trips yet, but they should be fun. And let's say hi, before we get into the show for today, let's say hi to everyone listening on the audio-only version on the podcast. Hopefully you're enjoying the weather. It is a little bit windy here, but the temperatures are real nice. So I'm trying to enjoy that this is spring. I had a conversation with one of the other parents at the bus stop yesterday that I'm trying to acknowledge that this is spring. Sometimes I feel and complain that in the Midwest, we go straight from winter to summer. But this is spring, and we're feeling spring. And I'm enjoying spring. So hopefully you're enjoying it too. And everyone watching this later but not live, this is the #1 place to hear about things that are under embargo, even if you can't really hear about them. Embargoes affect a lot of my life. And I get it. But yeah. I mean, other times there's just stuff you don't want to like mention ahead of time because it's not the right time to announce things. So that's not really an embargo. And I feel like that's what's going on with that trip later this year. But, you know, it's still... yeah, I don't like feeling like I'm hiding stuff from you guys. All right. Let's see who we got here in the chat. Sean Devlin is training a new colleague today, so he hasn't missed the live stream. All right. Well, hopefully the training is going well. And Leona says, hi, CoFam. You look great in Tracksmith, Mike. Great vid. Always love your editing in the Runner's Weekend. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was the time I went to Miami. You guys remember when I was gone? Maybe you guys don't, but I was gone to Miami. That was before Morocco. And so that one, they wanted to have any content from that weekend, wait until the time was right when they were ready to launch it, the Tracksmith Elliott Racer. And so that video's been ready for a while because the race was a while ago. I just had to kind of sit on it for a little while. So I'm glad I got to share it with you guys today. And I do feel like the new Tracksmith gear I feel like it looks good on me. It's been a while since I've been in a lot of Tracksmith gear. So I was like, this is nice. This is nice. I was enjoying it. And I had a good trip down there. There's a lot of people most of the people I've either like met before, I'm acquaintances with, or people that I've, worked with before, like in this similar kind of capacity. So it was a really good trip. A lot of fun. All right. Mark Peterson says, inquiring minds want to know. I think I have this shoe up here. I guess we could take a look at it now. Putting aside the Miami weather, how is the Tracksmith Racer? The Tracksmith Racer is a lot of fun. I'm going to be very frank with you. I do not love like the drop-in concept. I have not really enjoyed drop-in shoes. Like Speedlands are interesting. I just feel like that's a whole lot of effort for I'm not sure what the benefit is. Even the Elliott Runner with a really thick drop-in insert, I'm like, I don't ever see like interchangeable insoles being a thing. So like, I don't understand it. But this insert, which has a very long secret message on the back, by the way, it's so long. it's like a Bible verse in here. But the bottom is just says race day sacred, but then there's a long poem at the top. This one is ATPU, and this works for me. This I like. So there's this, and then you could see there's like a little piece of fabric that's like kind of like a strobo board, but you could see the carbon fiber plate underneath it. That's what that little cutout is. And then underneath that is like it's P-backs as far as the carrier is. So it's creating a way for you to have P-backs and ATPU in the same shoe. So that's a really interesting idea. I mean, I like ATPU. It's worked really well for me in all of the shoes that I've tried it in. I'd love to have seen them try an all ATPU shoe, but I think I spent a lot of time talking to the product people about like, what's the deal with the drop-in? It just seems like a lot of work for not a lot of stuff. And the way that they talk about it is that like it eliminates at least a layer of glue because it just sits in there and it doesn't need to be glued in terms of like sandwiching the carbon fiber plate in between layers of foam and stuff. And because you don't need like a full-on strobo board, it saves a lot of, it's just like a little bit, lets you squeeze in like an extra millimeter of midsole foam. It reduces layers of glue. And so, or whatever it is that it was required to bind the pieces together. And so I was like, okay, I hear the explanation. But this shoe is nice. I really like it. The question is, I think it's on the bubble. I think it's on the bubble between like, is this really like a tier 1 shoe? Like I don't think that people are going to be picking this over the, like say Vaporfly, Alphafly, which I feel like a lot of people that are buying those will probably at least take a look at this. I don't think it'll replace that shoe. But I think that like if you're a Super Traxxon fan and you're looking for kind of like that shoe that kind of it has race feel to it, but maybe is not your first choice racer, you know what I mean? Like your PR racer, that's where I kind of feel like this one fits in. And so I'd like to still, I haven't run in it since I was in Miami. I need to get some more miles in it when it's not super humid and hot. But like, it was really fun on the track. I got my butt kicked that day. It wasn't that hard of a workout, but you guys know how like I've had a scratchy throat for like a month. Like that's kind of not. I had it before I went to Miami, but like I had a rough day on the track because just this lingering sinus infection. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun in Miami. I was dying on the course. I struggled pretty hard. But that's not the shoe's fault, so it's fun. It's light. It's got a nice amount of pop in it. I was worried that it was going to fit a lot like the Elliott Runner, or at least the first version of the Elliott Runner that I had that had just was like really, really narrow in the toe box or shallow in the toe box. But the fit on it's pretty good. And I like it. But like, I don't think that it's like Vaporfly, Metaspeed, Deviate Nitro Elite 3 level. I think it's more along the lines of like, it doesn't feel like the SC Elite 4. Maybe it does. I haven't run in the SC Elite 4 in a while, but I think it's kind of in that tier of shoes. So that's where I would put it. But, and let me get in another couple of runs in it first before we lock that down. All right, Liza says, hey, Co-Fam, love the Tracksmith video. It was an interesting setup they had for showing and having people try the shoes. Yeah, it was. So I think what they really wanted to do was have it be more like just more media. And so that's why they had like real journalists there. And then like me and Tommy and Drew were there too. So fortunately, though, I feel like, with the three of us being there, me, Tommy, and Drew, I feel like we are people that can kind of bounce between like the influencer world and the media world really well. And so I just feel like it was a good small group of people to have, Would I have liked some other of my friends to have been there? Yeah, of course. Some of my other friends were in town, but they were on different projects. But yeah, but it was a good group. All right, let me scroll down to the bottom, see if you guys have anything. Leona says, "Is the shoe marathon worthy?" I think so. I think you could definitely take it the marathon distance, but right now, I'm kind of gonna like right now I'm eyeing like the SC Elite 4 as the shoe that I'd probably compare it closest to, and the type of person that I'd recommend the SC Elite 4 to is probably where I'd go. But I feel like it being a Tracksmith shoe and it being $280, which I feel like is a lot. Is it a lot for a Tracksmith race product? No. They asked me like what I thought about the price. I'm like, it doesn't make me mad. It's high, but it's a Tracksmith product, and their stuff, none of their stuff is cheap. So I think it certainly is, but it's like I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much I would recommend it to someone's like if it didn't have like a Tracksmith sash on it, That's the thing that it's hard to review these like apparel brand shoes. Now I know Tracksmith is trying not to make apparel brand shoes. They're not making like a Lululemon shoe. They have a slightly different approach than like the Rabbit shoes and things like that. And so, yeah, I'm trying to figure out like how do I evaluate this. So some things that I'm still have to think about. Vanessa says, a journalist is anyone who gathers information and disseminates it to the public in as truthful a manner as possible, and you're a journalist co. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's something that I've been thinking about a lot lately because of when I went down to Atlanta. And today I was thinking a lot about, I was listening to the Nobody Asked This podcast about the Save the 10,000 meter event that they're putting on. And I also think about like Grand Slam track and stuff like that. And I don't like covering track meets that much. Is it something that I should be taking a look at? I think something like the Save the 10,000 meters could be something that's interesting. I like roads, but I don't know if I don't like covering track meets because I feel a lot of hostility whenever my content gets shown to track people. I don't know if that's what it is or if I don't like the sport as much. Because I do think it's a slightly different sport, So I don't know. Brian wants to know, does the Sirius runner wear the Tracksmith shoes? The Sirius runner, I think his early uniform was a pair of Vaporfly 4%. Or maybe it was the Flyknits. I think it was the Flyknits. But then eventually the shoes don't last forever. And so that changed at some point. And I think he's in Alpha Flies now. So I think that's what he wears. So it'll be interesting to see if he picks up a pair of the Elliott Racer. Benjamin David says, I've gone down half a size in the Elliott Runner. Would you say the same for this? I would say if you've gone down a size in the Elliott Runner, I would probably go down a size for the Elliott Racer. I find that to be a little bit surprising because I felt like even though we've never gotten like an Elliott Runner 2, I got like the pre-production units and then I got one like a year later. The two of those shoes fit not completely differently, but very differently, like a quarter size differently. But I still feel like even the newer one that I have, the later one, still feels, it fits kind of like a Pegasus. It's a bit snug. And so I don't think that I would probably recommend to a lot of people to size down. If anything, I'd size up, but probably for most people, it's just go true to size. It's a snug fit. And I'd probably say the same thing about the Elliott Racer. But if you've had experience with the Elliott Runner and you've gone down, I'd probably start with going down in the Elliott Racer. Mark says, Drew rocking the tall crew socks with the navy blue Tracksmith Elliott trainer. I couldn't decide if it was super in style or super dad vibes. For me, that I felt like it was in style. I felt like it was in style though, like from I was getting like basketball player goes for a run kind of thing, which tracks for true, Let's see. All right. Edgar the Hobby Jogger says, the running warehouse video was great. I could watch that for hours. So we got to talk about that. So back in TRE, Connor from Running Warehouse was like, hey, we want to do something. We'll work around your schedule. Let us know if you've got time. They had done sneaker spotting in Boston with Thomas and Robbie. And that was super fun. And I love the concept. And I watched their video and I enjoyed it. And so I was like, yeah, I'm in. Let's do it. And so we're over on Lady Bird, right at where there's that like twisty part where you can get to the pedestrian bridge. And we're sitting in there and they filming us. They had like 5 cameras and we were each mic'd up and we're watching people run by. And it was super interesting because you had a mix of like regular people and then also the industry is all there. And so a lot of embargo shoes at the time, or shoes that weren't ready to be talked about yet. So that was fun. And I don't know how he got on the subject of gold chains. Oh, it's because Romain Wendell was coming through and he runs with a gold chain. And I was like, yeah, that guy can pull it off. I can't pull it off. And for some reason, I commented on the reel that they made about that if the reel got 1,000 likes, I'll run a marathon with a gold chain, just to try it. And the thing got 1,000 likes in like a day, which I was not expecting. And so now I guess I got to buy a gold chain. So the other day, now like my YouTube feed is like half running, half jewelry. Like, and it's weird jewelry. It's like stuff about like, it's like dudes telling other dudes how to wear gold chains. That's the other half of my YouTube algorithm right now. So it's kind of weird. But yeah, I guess I got to wear a gold chain to run a marathon now. I was thinking I was going to get like a little one like Galen Rupp has. Maybe I'll get one a little bit bigger like Mo Farah runs with. I know Adam Wood has a gold chain. He usually drops his lav mic on it. His like little, what is it? He doesn't have a DJI mic. He has the other one, the little Rode mic. But that chain's kind of long. I don't know if I could run with that. And I don't think Adam races with his on. So like, I feel like I got to do some figuring it out. My niece works at a jewelry store. And so I feel like maybe over spring break, if I bring the kids back to grandma's house, maybe I'll drop by the jewelry store and have to explain this weird story to my niece about why I need a gold chain and why I need one that specifically can handle the rigors of running a marathon and also all the sweat of it all. So, yeah. Richard Wilson says, Flavor Flav time. Sean Sevlin says, you got to get that Jesus piece. Yeah. You guys got nicknames. Brian Lackanal says, haha, coat chains. Brian Lang says, K-Pain. Calvin says, the Tracksmith $600 earrings don't catch your fancy. Those things sold out super fast, from what I understand. I don't think that they had a ton of inventory, but that sold out super quick. Everyone jokes about it, but yeah. Christian Apollonio says, I think you can rock a silver chain quite well. I think so too. That'd be more my style. Like I wear a silicone ring, a little rubber ring, as my wedding band. Cause my wedding ring doesn't fit anymore, but my wedding ring is white gold. So I was thinking white gold might work, but I feel like I don't know. I think it's got to be yellow gold. 'Cause I think that's just the way it's got to go. Jake says I need to run it with a gold tooth. Yeah, I don't think I could do that. Yeah. And Brian said, was that video staged with the people running by? No, we were just actually there. So we saw Romain Wendell. We also saw the product manager for Solomon. The Aeroglide 3 video is coming up next. That'll come out Saturday. And the guy that was in charge of that shoe, he is usually one of the people that there's a 5K at TRE. There's like an industry 5K. There's like a pro division, like if you used to run pro, and then there's like a non-pro division. So people that are like just in the industry. He usually like wins or places in that, which I didn't know at a time. Not that I've ever raced him, but not that I didn't think he was fast. But anyway, that guy, we saw him there. We ran into some other fast marathon. I don't remember their names, but someone was like, there was a guy in the video that like stopped and said hi. People were like, oh, that's my buddy. He's like a 2:18 marathon or something like that. I was like, what? Okay. It's amazing. And then Romain Wendell, they all just happened to come by because it was like the timing of that video when we shot it, it was like, I want to say it was at the end of the day of sessions, like because like TRE has 2 days of like showroom floor, but the day before that is like seminars and stuff. And so at the end of that day, because Tommy, I think that's when we filmed it. Tommy and I had our seminar that we put on, and then like after that, I went over and headed to go to the lake to film that. And so like I think everyone was kind of like done with setting up their booths for the day and getting ready for their meetings, and it was like you have like an hour to go run before dinner time, and then you have to do more work. And so I think it was just like a really good time to catch a lot of people there. It was fun. Shannon says, I missed White Coast getting a chain. I have to get a chain because I said I would. I filmed a video with Running Warehouse, and we talked about runners that run with chains. And I was like, I can't do that. I'm 45 years old. If I started running with a gold chain, that'd be like that time Harrison Ford had like a midlife crisis and got one earring. Do you guys remember that? And so Connor was like, no, I think you should run with the chain. I think you could do it. And so that's kind of where that came from. And then I commented on the reel. I was like, if this video gets 1,000 likes, I'll buy a gold chain. Yeah. All right. Yeah, and Calvin says, I'm not old enough to remember Harrison born at his midlife. It was weird. Well, he was married to Ally McBeal at the time, right? Was that right? Is that who it was? Is Ally McBeal the actress, or is that the name of the show? I don't remember. Callista Flockhart. I think he was married to Callista Flockhart at the time, and he had one earring. It was weird. It was a weird time for Harrison Ford. And then he kind of disappeared for a long time, and then he came back, and now he's just rebooting all the movies he was in when he was younger. Now he's just like a grumpy dude, which I feel like is probably not a stretch for him acting-wise at this point. Frank says he's still married to Callista Flockhart. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Interesting. Brian says, co-wearing chains and earrings will just look like Steve Aoki. We got to get Thomas on here one time to tell the Steve Aoki story from Paris. I mean, I'm building it up more than it is, but it's pretty funny. Book Archive says, any tips for LA Marathon this weekend? I do have some tips. So the first 5K, it's super, super fast. It's a lot of it's downhill. Don't go too crazy, but also don't hit the brakes too much either. So it's okay to be a little bit fast at first 5K. And that one big hill over by the Disney Theater is gigantic. I would say don't worry about how slow you're getting up that. I would worry about burning too much energy on that one. And then the last thing I'd say is right around mile 20, there's a really long extended uphill. Just be mentally prepared for it. It's okay to go slow. You want to just survive that part. So those, I guess, are the three main sections that I remember from that race. But have a lot of fun, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Shannon says, do you remember when Ko looked like his IG thumbnail? That was back when I had like a regular job. Even when I had a regular job, I didn't really have a regular job. But yeah, that's a self-portrait, by the way. That drawing, it's a low poly drawing I made of myself. Tracing a photograph, but yeah. All right. Let's get to some unboxings for today, because I want to make sure we get to this all, since it is the last one of the month. All right. We got another package. This one is from Wolverine Worldwide. At least that's what it says on the return address. Others of you guys will know that that is the parent company of Saucony. Another shoe that I purchased myself, because Saucony doesn't send me shoes anymore. This one, I bought this one just so that I could know what it is. I don't think I'm going to like this one at all. I'll go into it with an open mind. But it is the Endorphin Trainer. So this one has got a lot going on with it. The other day, we unboxed the Endorphin Elite 2, which I'm probably going to go for a run in tomorrow. This is the right side shoe. But here it is. This is an interesting shoe. I could smell the shoe from here. I could smell like the plastics. It smells like a plastics factory already. It's got the speed roll. You could see the plate. It's got mostly no outsole to it. There's two little patches of rubber, kind of like an old Kinvara. And if you think about it, it's kind of like a pro Kinvara. If you just think about it a little bit. Richard Wilson says it looks triumphy. It kind of does, but to me, I think basically what happened is, I think that this is, Shannon said, did I buy it with my own money? I did buy it with my own money. I think what happened is this is basically the Kinvara Pro 2. Now, I am not going to call it the Kinvara Pro 2 because I ranted about how much I hated the name Kinvara Pro. Endorphin Trainer makes a lot more sense for what this is. And it's different than the Kinvara Pro in the sense that now they're using the Incredi-Run foam instead of like the Power Run PB. And then there is that rubberized EVA that's on the bottom. And then what I'm guessing is a teardrop shaped plate, similar to what they had last year. The upper feels like an upper, like it's kind of Endorphin-ish. It's kind of trainer-ish. So I like what they did here. I feel like this all makes sense from a trainer perspective. And you can kind of see the plate through the side here. And I don't know if they're trying to make it look like it's got a little wing for stability or what, but it is interesting. Whew, real strong. This one smells more like shoes though. The Endorphin Elite 2 smelled like plastic. This one smells more like just shoes, but it's still very strong. Tongue is gusseted and pretty thin. I think that there's Power Run, at least Plus in here. Got a super comfortable looking insole. This reminds me of those insoles that people buy to put in their Air Jordans. But it looks comfy. And it is removable. So yeah, I'm definitely got some to me they're Michigan-ish colors, I guess. I mean, this is more of a, is this navy? Then it is a blue. It's navy. Navy and primrose, navy/primrose marine. But yeah, I felt like I got this because where's mine? Because I thought they would match my Endorphin Pros. Right? So that's was the thinking there. But yeah. Philip Watt says, I'm waiting for my running store to carry it. We'll go to them and ask if they don't get it in by the end of the month. Yeah. It's not as, I feel like the heel cup on the Kinvara, I should have brought that over here. It's all the way over on the other wall. I felt like the Kinvara Pro felt very stabilized, and I just felt it really hard to run in. I remember saying that the Kinvara Pro should have been the Endorphin Shift, whatever number they're on. I don't think we got an update to the Endorphin Shift. I don't know if that's going away. But we got an Endorphin Trainer instead for this year. So, yeah, I like that they're trying to introduce. They must like this Incredible Run foam, and it's interesting to see it get brought through more of the product lineup other than just the Endorphin Elite 2. I don't think a ton of people are going to buy the Endorphin Elite 2, so it gives more people a chance to experience this foam. But this carrier was very stiff in it, at least last year. So I'm trying to keep an open mind, but it kind of feels. I've been really loving the Ride 18, and it kind of is like a Ride 18 Plus, but not really. I don't know. The upper reminds me very much of the upper on the Ride 18. But maybe it's the color. It still reminds me of an Endorphin in a lot of ways. I don't know. JC Williams says, there's another wall. Yeah, so there's 3 bookshelves here, and then over in the home gym, there's 3 over there. I think I need another 3 more shelves. Because already, you guys can't see it, but I'm already storing shoes on top of the bookshelf. Basically, they're in the rafters of the basement over here. It's unfinished down here. Same thing on the other shoe wall. Part of me is like, I'm hoarding shoes at this point, but I have been culling them, and anything that I have a lot of duplicates for, I've been getting rid of, donating to charity. If they haven't been used that much, I've been trying to find people to give them to. I've been looking for other shoe reviewers that maybe don't get a lot of shoes, just to have some more experience with different shoes. But anyway, yeah, so there's another shoe wall. Super Ninja said, did you ever try the Ride Run for Good? I didn't know there was a Ride RFG. I tried the Triumph RFG. I liked that one a lot. But I didn't know there was a Ride RFG, so I haven't tried that one. All right. GMWBZ says, training for a marathon and in peak week, got knee pain while using new shoes on a 27K. Has this ever happened to you? New shoes, high mileage, since you're testing new shoes all the time. Any advice? I would say try different shoes first to verify that it's the new shoes that did it. I mean, the new shoes could have been like kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. But if it was the case that it was contributing to something, then don't run in the shoe for a while and see if you recover. And so like, that's a very, depending on the nature of the pain, if this is an overuse injury that was just like, straw that broke the camel's back, just happened to be on that new shoe because it hit it or it exacerbated it in a kind of funny way, removing the shoe from the rotation might not be it. But I've tried shoes before where I'm in my testing and all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know, I think I might have IT band syndrome. And then I stop running in the shoe, and like 2 days later, I'm like, oh, I don't know, my IT band syndrome is gone. Wonder what happened. Oh yeah, I stopped running in that one shoe. So test that, see what happens. Hopefully it's just the shoe and you can stop using that shoe and you'll feel better. And you should find it, then you can find a different shoe, All right, let me, I'm going to get the shoe weights sheet out so that way we can get this one weighed and I can run in it before I forget. All right, let's get it all set up. Share screen, shoe weights, and here we go. All right, let's make this bigger. Oh, too big. All right. Oh, I forgot. I also have numbers for the Aeroglide 3 and the Cloud Surfer 2 that I took with my phone. So we can add those too. We got the sock in here. And this is the Endorphin trainer. All right, where's my scale? Oh boy. Okay. Eric says he still likes the foam and the outsole of the Endorphin Pro 4, but man, the tongue sucks. Oh, this one? The same one that they put on the Endorphin Elite? This one right here? It didn't bother me. I just don't know if I was supposed to fold it over or what. Wasn't clear. Because there is a logo on each side of it, you know? So if you fold it over, there's a logo. I don't know if it's like a lace your shoes and this is like a lace cover, like a baseball cleat kind of thing. Or if you're supposed to leave it up. Because there's a logo on the other side too. It says so. The word mark is on one side and it's a river, right? The river graphic is on the other. But I like knit. I like big tongues. So I don't know. We'll see. Eric says, I'm subject to lace pressure, so I have to fold it to get it down, but I feel it 12 plus miles into any run. Without folding it, it's just way too thin. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Interesting. Have you tried the Endorphin Elite 2? Have you tried that one? It's a different tongue on the Speed. The Speed has it's kind of meshy on the bottom, and then it's got just a regular tongue up top. All right. Scale is ready to go. All right, let's get this on here. It's a big shoe. It's really tall. It's really wide as well. I was surprised at how wide the footprint is. But then again, the Kinvara Pro was also wide. And so I'm not saying that this is exactly a Kinvara Pro, but it does, the setup definitely reminds me one of the other. All right. So we've got, this shoe is 280 grams. That's a big one. 9.9 ounces. That's a lot of weight on there. And then let me look at my phone for these other ones. All right. Cloud Surfer 2. By the way, my daughter has been running now in her Cloud Surfer 2s. Now that track season has started. She really likes them. 254 grams. And then the Aeroglide 3 came in at the same ounces, 8.9, but 252 grams. All right, so let's sort these. Data sort sheet by column D. Yeah, okay. So the Endorphin trainer, same size as the Mount to Coast S1 and the SC trainer. I guess it's 2 grams lighter, but 9.9, which is the same weight as the Supernova Prima. So that's kind of interesting, I feel like. Not that much heavier than the Ride 18 or the Skyflow. So, I mean, those are shoes that I don't think are heavy. So I feel like that's not that bad. But, being right about 10 ounces, that just feels heavy. You know? I don't know. And then the Aeroglide 3 and Cloud Surfer 2 are right around the same weight as the Hyperion Max 2. Interesting. Have I run in the Hyperion Max 2 yet? I'm sure I have, right? I can't remember. I think I have. Yeah. All right. Well, those are the shoes for today. All right. Calvin thinks that under 10 is actually really good. Remember when Adidas shoes were like over 11 ounces? And after a while, they just stopped telling you what the shoes weighed on the website. You guys remember that? It was in like the heaviest of the Boost days. I remember that. And then the other day, I don't remember why, but I was looking at those old Ted Cruz pictures when he was trying to abscond to Cabo during that winter storm. All right, Rich Dizon says, TSP coming up for me in redacted number of days. Have the option of running in the Cloud Monster Hyper from one of our sponsors. Wonder if you think rock collector holes will survive running in the desert. I think you'll be fine. I'm not super familiar with what the desert is exactly like out there, but I don't think that you're going to get rocks inside. You might get rocks through the center channel. That's the only thing. But I don't think like the clouds are not going to get full of holes. And I feel like if the sponsor is giving you shoes, you should probably run in the shoes. You know? Yeah. Paul Public says the sheet has over 100 shoes now. Might have been mentioned before, but I've missed a few. Huh. I never counted them. I guess there are over 100. Yeah, there's 107 shoes in here. Some of them are hiking shoes though, and some of them are, a good amount are trail shoes too, so there's a variety. They're not all road shoes, and there's some that I just forget to weigh before I start running in them too much. So like not every shoe that I have is even on here, but I suppose this is a good way of figuring out like how many shoes are coming through the basement over here. Anyway. Calvin says, we've come a long way. When Boost was heavy, but the best we had, and now we're spoiled for choice. I was thinking a lot about Boost today because, I was just doing the Solomon Aeroglide 3 video, and it's a beaded foam, and people were like, is it like Boost? I'm like, no, beaded foams can be wildly different. But I was thinking about Boost already then. And then I think the podcast is called Second to Nature or something like that. It's part of the Free Trail network. And sometimes it's Debo and a second person who's a mountain biker. He's very famous. I don't remember his name though because I don't know much about that sport. And sometimes it's just the mountain biker interviewing people. But today they were interviewing someone who's in charge of like Terex and based in the Portland office for Adidas. And they were talking about Boost a lot. And so I was just like, it's been a boosty week, I guess. And then, of course, there was the flashback to the Ted Cruz Ultra Boost getaway. Vanessa says, I remember that storm, that winter storm in Texas. It was the worst storm in decades. F Ted. That was a fiasco. Ugh. Oh, yeah. Super Ninja says Running World had a article about shoe foam recently, and they spent a lot of time on the Boost revolution. Boost was a big deal. It made a huge difference. I feel like it started. I think it's in a lot of ways. I would say it is a pivotal point, kind of like the 4%, where it's like that got people thinking of like, oh, what if we tried something different, so yeah. Oh, Eliza says, was there going to be a mukbang today? Yes, I almost forgot. Okay, so I did open this earlier because I wanted to make sure whatever I was opening wasn't under embargo, and I also wanted to know if it was a drink or if it was food so I could prepare accordingly. But you can kind of see. I got a package from Scratch. It says bottoms up. And they even dropped a note in here. They said, Michael, you're one of the first to try our new Grape energy chews. launching March 4th. So I had this package for a little while. Let us know what you think. Have a grape day. It really says that. Have a grape day. So this is great because I just came in from my run and I did not eat lunch. I got grape energy chews. I can't wait. I'm super hungry. So I'll get some stats on this one. Gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan. Ingredients are fairly straightforward. Sugar, glucose, syrup, water, pectin, grape juice, citric acid, and lactic acid. Lactic acid. 80 calories per serving. There's 2 servings in this packet. So it's 160 calories total, 90 milligrams of sodium, which is pretty good. And if you eat the whole thing, it's 38 grams of carbs. That's a lot of grams of carbs in this thing. Everyone says, lactic acid straight up. Here we go. Theirs kind of look like they're not quite half circles. These are good. Grapey. Very grapey. Comment says they look like multivitamins. I think it's crazy that like everything now, all these supplements are available as gummies. I just think that's weird. My younger daughter takes like a probiotic gummy, a multivitamin gummy, and then there's a third one that she takes. And she takes it as a part of her nighttime routine. I think it's a vitamin D gummy. And each serving of those is 2 gummies. So when I get her stuff ready for bed, I put out like a little flosser for her, I get her toothbrush ready, and then I put out 6 gummies for her to eat as part of her nighttime routine. I think we might be down to 4 gummies at this point. Maybe we got rid of one of those. But anyway. But they do it for adults too. Everything's available as a gummy. And I'm just like, one time I was going to buy some. I mean, there's gummies I take. I take the melatonin ones. Guys, every time I want to say melatonin, my brain wants to say melanin. But melatonin gummies. But like, if you ever looked at the price per serving of like gummies versus like a pill you swallow or a chewable, I guess. It goes from pill is the cheapest, chewable is more expensive, and the gummy, it's multiple times more expensive per serving. I think that's weird. You know? Richard one says, you have to be careful which gummy you give to the kids. In the 70s, it was brownies. Ask me how I know. Juno wants to know, how similar are the Asics Metaspeed Sky and the Noblesse 4s in terms of fit? I tend to have wider feet and believe the Asics will be wider than the Alpha Fly 3. So they're going to be very different in terms of fit of Asics Metaspeed Sky and the Noblesse 4, mainly because they're different shoes. I always equate shoe fits like jeans. You can have the same size of a boot cut or a baggy fit jean, cargo pants, and skinny jeans. They'll be the right size. They'll just fit very differently. And so a racing shoe fit is very different than a daily trainer fit. But I use the same shoe size in each. And I think the more relevant question is if you've tried the Alpha Fly 3 before. I think the Alpha Fly 3 is probably I haven't tried the Alpha Fly 4, but the Alpha Fly 3 is the best fitting Alpha Fly that they've made. Before versions 1 and 2, it would just crunch my big toe. The way that like my foot would kind of compress the upper, like it would bend right on the top of my big toe, and it would be really painful. And the toe would always the small toe would also get pinched by the way the shoe was cut. The Alpha Flight 3, I think, has a wider and more forgiving fit than the Metaspeed Sky does. Oh, that helps. Calvin agrees. I felt the Alpha Flight 3 midfoot was wider than Metaspeed. Alpha Flight 3 was the most accommodating Alpha Flight to date. Metaspeed has higher toe box volume. All right, we're on the same page. It's always nice when that happens. Man, these grape gummies are good. I like these. But here's the thing. Maybe we'll look at the box art. So they do this cute thing with the box art saying, like, you know, we've cut up pieces of the gummy, we've cut up pieces of the fruit. It's basically like you're eating fruit. But I feel like with grape flavored gummies that look like these, it kind of begs the question, should I just eat grapes? I don't know why. I forget who made a list. I think it might have been Trail Carrots. Trail Carrot Z on Instagram. She made a list comparing her favorite gels, her favorite chews, and also her favorite foods. Her foods that she eats on the run. And compared it from like a price per gram, like grams of carbs per dollar. And bananas was the cheapest source of carbohydrate fuels. And I don't know why, but I didn't know that bananas have a lot of carbs. I just thought that they had a lot of potassium, and that's why people ate them. I assumed that they had sugar because bananas are sweet. But I didn't know, like, the thing that she had, I thought it said that it has like 29 grams of carbs in a banana. Did you guys know that? I did not know that. I'm going to be real honest. I did not know that. Eric says, yep, bananas rule. Safe too. They're filling, but they never give them the poops. So yeah. I didn't know. I really didn't know. I normally detest eating bananas, but now I'm like, maybe I like bananas. Every time my kids love bananas, so I buy a lot of bananas. And every time I go, I'm like, they are basically giving bananas away. You buy a bunch of bananas, and it's like a couple of pounds. Bananas are like 40 cents, 50 cents a pound. If you get organic ones, they're like 10 cents more a pound. You could buy a bunch of bananas, like not like a colloquial bunch, but like a term of a bunch of bananas for like a couple bucks. It travels reasonably well because it's got a peel and stuff. But I don't know. I'm going to have to just start eating bananas out of principle, I think. Dave Courtney says, I love bananas, but mid-race they are tough to get down. I never take them on course. Yeah, I might like have to start packing them as like an immediate post-run kind of thing, you know? Elijah says, I cannot stand bananas. I'm normally with you. Every once in a while I'll eat a banana, but I'm starting to think like, I don't know, maybe I can trick my body into like having the bananas at breakfast as a nice kind of like quick sugar before my run food. Maybe if I down it with like a lot of coffee and some graham crackers. I know I got to find a way to eat the bananas. Because if they really do have that much sugar, I'm just like, it's amazing. Vanessa says, even the cheapest gels cost me $1.50 to $2 per bananas for the win. That's a fraction of the price for a banana, you know? Calvin said, we took egg prices for granted, so I'm cherishing cheap bananas. I know, right? Maybe we should buy them all. Buy them all while you can, but not too many because then they're all going to go brown. As much as like I may have changed my mind on bananas, and I might be okay with eating bananas now just because of their little sugar bombs, but still, the moment it gets some brown spots on it, I feel like I'm eating garbage. You know what I mean? I can't. Okay. Cosmo Pineapple Michael says, I eat bananas every day. Trader Joe's has a package of dried baby bananas for a couple bucks that has 128 grams of carbs per bag. Do we have to send that in for testing? Calvin says, banana and Nutella is undefeated. There's a thing that my daughter, my younger daughter, really likes to watch. I think it's with, I forget what YouTube channel it is, but it's the dude that tries all the kitchen gadgets, and one was like something that would basically drill a hole in your banana and then inject it with Nutella. It didn't work, but the idea was pretty interesting. Juliana VB says, the brown spot ones are good for banana bread or any of the Featherstone recipes. My wife makes a really good banana bread, and so once a banana starts to go brown, I just throw it into the freezer. Because I'm like, you can't eat this anymore. It's worthless for food, for regular food. You have to wait till you can mash it into banana bread. She makes them a lot of time into little banana bread muffins. We have regular size ones, but I like it when she makes like the one bite little banana bread muffins. Those are great. I'll bring like 6 of them with me on the way to a run, and that I'll have with coffee, and that's good. And it sounds weird, but I also sometimes if I'm eating them at home, I'll microwave them for like a couple seconds and then put butter on it and let the butter melt. That's also good. I like it. I like it. But anyway, so that was a really long rant about banana. I guess is it still a rant when I'm talking about how good something is? But that's my take on bananas now. I'm a convert. I didn't know. I don't know why I didn't know they have so much sugar, but they got a lot of sugar, and I'm gonna start eating more of them. So, you guys should too. It all in this economy, we got to eat more bananas. But yeah, all right. That's going to be a good place for me to end it for today. I'll still be publishing regular videos in the next few weeks while I am gone. That's part of why I'm always so busy these days, is because I have to make videos ahead of time for when I'm out of the office, I guess. But I think this is going to be the last live stream until it's pretty much Boston time. So if you guys are getting ready for Boston or London, good luck with your peak weeks. If you guys are getting ready for LA, have fun out there. Run a smart race and really enjoy it. And for everyone else, enjoy your long runs. I'll see you guys. I mean, I might see you guys before that, but if I don't, I'll see you guys in a few weeks. See you guys in April. Thanks, guys.